Hey everybody, we are live, hopefully. How yeah, we're probably talking to a room of none so far.
That's
Um
awesome.
yeah, in fact we are. But yeah, remember just like the last one I'm going to save this. So, now we have 7 people. So which is
Oh,
absolutely groovy. Um
great.
but thank you for anybody that's out there. We got Kimba, we got Tom's Vinyl Shack, we got Brinley. Um, we are here. This is only the second show. This is kind of impromptu. Normally, I bring in more people to um, to chat. Uh, you know, like you know, just some of our VC friends. I do bring in more people to chat, but Tim Tim and I have been talking about this, and I decided, well, let's just do it. We don't have a subject to talk about. We're just it's just two
No.
friends talking about music. That's it. Um, and that's really Matthew Smith for the very first time shows up within 2 minutes of a show. He usually shows up in the last two
Amazing.
minutes. Yeah, I know.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. So, but thank you everybody for showing up. This is just talk. We're, no music is going to be played. I actually was going to play some music because, oh, by the way, since we don't have anything to talk about, and Tim at this moment is, feeling kind of like, well, gosh, I don't have anything to talk about. Obviously, just like any of my shows, I'm probably going to dominate this. Uh,
Great.
yeah. Yeah, but a lot of I get complaints about dominating conversations, so that's why I don't go on other people's chats anymore. Hey, Randy and Walrus and Kimba, yeah, and but
Yeah,
yeah,
there's so many. But hello, everyone. Kimba and Randy and everyone.
I don't go on chats because I even hear afterwards that somebody complaining, oh yeah, he dominates the conversation. It's like, but I like to talk about music, and I hate, I hate going like, yeah, and then Elvis did this. And then it's all quiet. There's like 6 people on the screen and it's all quiet. So then I start talking again because I don't want there to be that awkward silence. But is that awkward silence there because I just blabbed for 5 minutes and people are going, God, I just need a break. Just we just need a moment of silence here. I don't know. I don't understand the
No,
way
I
this
don't think so.
I don't understand the way the interwebs work. But anyway, we are here. Hello, Malaya and Vinyl Piper, and so many wonderful people. Thank you all for showing up just to
Hello,
chat.
everyone.
We're probably not going to talk about a whole lot of popular bands, so let's get them out of the way. Tim, why don't you show everybody your shirt? There, okay, that's one
Nobody's
popular
heard of
band.
these guys, right? There you go. They're all on it.
Yeah, there you go. And there's my shirt.
But, wow, you're wearing a shirt with a picture.
Yeah, Neil Diamond. Uh, uh, but yeah, we are here just to chat about music. Um, I actually, I mean, I work a lot, and the stuff that I've been, I've got so much stuff for to make videos, but I also work 2 jobs. So, and then I have, I help, my landlord with various things here and there, and I also, have various other things I have to take care of. So sometimes I don't find time to make these videos, and it frustrates the heck out of me. One of the things I want to make is this wonderful band from sort of the, I guess, Bay Area called the Corner Laughers. Um, Hello, Ollie and Kimba and Starman and Gregman and Walrus. Um, a band called the Corner Laughers, fantastic. Another band that I'm going to make a video of pretty soon is the Orange Pills, who are amazing, incredible pop band. Are you familiar with them at all?
A little bit.
Yeah, they've been around for like I think since the late '90s or early 2000s. So you probably would have heard of them, maybe the first album or two. Um, but that does sound vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I might have a CD, and it might even be in the stack right here, but I'm not gonna look for
Well, why don't you
it.
show us what's in that stack?
No, I have
I'd like
stacks all around me. I'm surrounded by CDs. I always am.
grab a stack. Grab a stack. I want to know what's in one of your stacks.
No, because they've just been here forever.
I know,
I
but just blow the dust off of them and show us yo
okay,
CDs.
here's 5 CDs just randomly off a stack.
Okay.
Okay, I think this was the second Susanna Hoff solo
Oh, okay.
album, I think.
Okay.
Um, and it's got a couple bonus tracks, which I think are just about the best thing on it, besides her cover of "All I Want" by the Lightning Seeds, which is
Oh, she does a Lightning
fantastic.
Seed song. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I like it better than the Lightning Seeds version.
Wow.
Um, this is a great Ronnie Lane. I'm sure it's impossible to get now. This is like after he was diagnosed and everything, and he's back home in Austin. He would go on this local radio station and
Uh-huh.
sing. And he played guitar at the beginning, but he couldn't do that anymore. And this has, in fact, his last recording on it, the last thing he
Hmm.
ever sang. And just it's sad and heartbreaking, but it's just really cool. I also have Ronnie Lane live at the BBC, 2
Oh, wow.
CD
Okay.
set.
Uh-huh.
Um,
My
what
favorite
else
Ronnie
is
Lang
cool?
song, by the way, is a song called One Step.
I
Go ahead.
I forget what mine. There's one I can't ever remember the name of it, but I love it. Just a Graham Parker album, a later one.
Oh, right.
I've been
Mhm.
listening to a lot of people's like later parts of their career after they've been ignored. That's
Yeah.
been something, especially us older people ignore, people after a certain point, and I tend not to do that. And a Jonathan album just sitting in the
I
pile.
love that Jonathan album.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, a
got
lot of
Fender
people.
Stratocaster on it.
Yeah, and it's got, Everyday Clothes
Everyday
on it.
everyday clothes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. That's just a few things sitting here.
Yeah, I was going through, I'm not gonna show them here because I'm gonna show them in a video, but I was going through my boxes. Now, a lot of people don't like AOR. Are you familiar what the term AOR is?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so old AOR is gonna be Journey, Foreigner, REO
Mhm.
Speedwagon, people like that. But Frontiers Records, uh, gosh, are they in France? I don't remember where the label's based, but they have a habit of signing those old bands, like let's say Journey. They've
Yeah.
even done some Rick Springfield records, but they also sign
Mhm.
tons of new artists. Usually, sometimes featuring some guy from, you know, like let's say they put out House of Lords because it had the guy from
Mhm.
Jafria in it or whatever. Um, and so I worked for a company that worked closely with them. So I got promos of like almost everything they put out in like 2009,
Mhm.
2010, and I loved it to death because I love AOR. It's not, I mean, I love the type of music I play in Ski Lodge, and I love 80s new wave and power pop and
Mhm.
stuff, much more. But it's really about, if it has a hook, then I'm hooked. I don't care if it's hard rock or metal. Um, I'm way, way, way into um, AOR, it's not a guilty pleasure at all because I have no guilty pleasures. I'm not ashamed to
No.
love the stuff that I love, from
Yeah.
Ray Conniff to whoever. I was watching Matthew Street's video because he had a little jokey
Yeah.
video,
Yeah, I
but
watched it today too.
yeah, and at the end he's the same as me. Says I don't have guilty pleasures, um, but what happened is, oh yeah, the rough mix, the Townsend
Oh,
Lane
yeah.
spread. But I found the box that had, I mean, literally like 60 or 70, 50 maybe, um, releases that had come out on Frontiers, and each of these albums has just one or two great killer tracks. But there's also a lot that I don't like because it's more of the heavy metal stuff.
Mhm.
And now, when I say I don't like it, it just hurts my ears because I always have to listen to things in the headphones. So it literally hurts my ears. Yeah, Tom, check out the song "One Step." That's like my favorite. But me being a pop kid, it's going to be
Well,
poppier than you know.
and
Um,
if you find it, that BBC
oh, Italy,
collection
that's it.
I like his live stuff. I like him live better than
Thanks, Tom.
studio, believe it or not. And it's
Oh, do
rare
you?
for me. I'm not a live guy, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, Tom says Frontiers is based out
yeah.
of Italy. Thank you. Um, but what we're going to do is, or I mean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a video talking about this, and I'm going to show some of the bands, and I've already put together like a 6-minute medley featuring 20 seconds of like 8 or 15 of these albums, or I forgot how many were there. I mean, it's probably 10 or 12 actually. And if you love things like, like I said, the Journeys and the REO Speedwagons, the Foreigners of the world, this is just as of 2009, 2010. This is modern, updated. But hey, it's got every cliche you can imagine. You can imagine the singers in front of the microphone going, that kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
uh, every hard rock cliche in the book, but it's wonderful. I used to have people just say like, back in the day, back when, because I was listening to punk rock and Elvis Presley and Andy Williams and AOR at the same time, and my punk rock friends would be going like, "Oh, this punk rock is so cliche," and I'm thinking, dude, have you not listened to the Ramones? Have you not listened to whatever? Everything is a formula. Everything is a cliche. It's just how you look at it. If you enjoy that type of cliche, you don't look at it as a cliche. Because like every punk band that came out on Epitaph was a cliche. It's the same, the same thing. It's over and over and over again. You know exactly what's coming up. You know what the chorus is going to sound like. I'm not knocking it, but it's a cliche. It's a formula. But if you're inside that genre, you don't notice that. You just notice all the other cliches, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, most smaller labels, I think, and it's still probably true today, had or have a sound.
yeah, yeah, and
I mean, they all aim for one sort of thing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, um, like Epitaph, you know exactly what it's going to sound like. And that's the great thing about collecting a label.
yeah.
If it's on Epitaph, you're going to go, I'm going to buy it.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't you don't have to hear it, if it's a new band. And I also love it when they break that formula, when they break that tradition of releasing this kind of thing, and then all of a sudden they come out with an album that's like, didn't Epitaph or like one of their subsidiary labels put out um Tom Waits?
I'm thinking maybe they did, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, like a few of his later albums. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe I'm not 100. I mean, I could be wrong on that, but because I never proclaimed to be right on everything. The only thing that I'm right on is Doc is rocks. um, yeah, I noticed. This isn't to talk about other channels, but I noticed that Joe just did a video,
Yeah.
Joe Mayo, and he talks about the he shows some of his FTD titles, and they're plus a couple other box sets and stuff. Those things are not cheap, and he just got them all. And all I can tell you is he's going to have a great time listening to those. So if you haven't seen Mean Mr. Mayo's latest video on his Elvis box sets, um, I did watch. Yes, I like the Sex Pistols, but I like Never Mind the Bollocks. And I like the Spunk demos, like the demos,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Spunk
the
demos
legit.
were great.
Yeah, I like that, but the other 357 releases I'm not into. The constant live things.
The soundtrack's good. I like the soundtrack.
Oh, the Great Rock and Roll Swindle.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
soundtrack's
Oh,
good. After that, not so
yeah.
much.
I guess I like the official releases and Spunk.
Mhm.
I mean, I like the Spunk album. I'm not saying I like Spunk, guys. Um, and well, you know what? Robert Logan is asking Doc how things are in Canada. How's it over there in your neck of the woods? What's the weather like?
It's been unseasonably warm. I hear that's about to change, but it's been, upper 40s, low 50s, which in January should be -10. So I'll take it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, because folks, even though Tim and I communicate via uh, private message on Facebook, this is the first time we're talking in a while. So I always got to check in on my bud with the who's just trying to get subs every chance he get by wearing his Beatles shirt.
Yeah,
I mean, I
uh-huh.
mean, I mean, he walks into Taco Bell with his Beatles shirt and says, "Sub to my channel, sub to my channel." Do you guys have Taco Bells over there?
We do. Yeah.
Oh, do you?
I have, well, 2, I think, which is for my town is pretty good, I guess.
Yeah. What are the big fast food chains there?
McDonald's,
Yeah.
Burger King, but I hear they're in trouble.
Oh, are they?
Have a couple Wendy's. I've heard they're oh, declaring bankruptcy, and a lot of them are gonna get closed. I just
What?
heard
That's
that a couple
Burger
days ago.
King?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. I mean, I
Um,
can't go to fast food anymore, obviously, because of my heart condition and
yeah.
my diabetes. Um, but it's difficult to. I mean, this stuff's been around forever. It's weird to think that Burger King, wouldn't be around. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, I don't think they're closing everything, but I've heard they're closing a bunch. I mean, most of them near me are like not very nice places to visit. If you
Mm.
know what I mean, they're
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But when we just recently, and in the past month or two, got a new Pizza Hut. I mean, there's a company
Oh,
that's not
really?
doing very well, and they've actually opened a new one in my town in this little plaza. There's no dine in. It's Pizza Hut takeout, I think. I don't think there's any dine in or anything like that.
Right, right. Oh, Doc Dawkins has four. Kimba here says that her Burger King became a Popeyes recently. Popeyes chicken sandwiches are really good. Of course, I haven't had it since I was up in Sacramento. So I moved down here and to an undisclosed location in Orange County, California. Um, oh, really? Wow. See, I've heard about places like I heard about Burger Chef. Did you guys have Burger Chef in New York, Tim? No,
No, never even
because
heard
I've
of
heard.
them.
Yeah, I've heard of Burger Chef for years. In fact, you can see like they had T-shirts and they were like really popular. But I think it might have been more of a Midwest thing here. Um, yeah, I see. Obviously, I used to get fast food more, and I'm glad I had my health issues because you know uh, totally changed the way that I eat, changed my lifestyle. Not a diet or whatever. I've so far lost 34 pounds since I got out of the hospital. So,
Wow.
but then
Yeah.
again, that could be the cancer too. No, not that I have cancer. I just said that. Sorry. It's a shame. Burger King was a good place, and they have the Impossible Burger, um, which I think is better than Carl's Jr. has something called the Beyond Meat. Um, oh, what's their big the Beyond Meat famous star? Do you guys have Carl's Jr.'s or Hardee's over there?
No.
No. Okay.
Nope. We have Wendy's. We have an Arby's. Subway's all over the place.
Yeah.
But nobody goes to them anymore. I think they're going to be in trouble soon too.
Well, I think they've been. Doc says they have a Chick-fil-A, but yeah, I think that. Yeah, but Burger Chef was pretty popular, weren't they, Randy? At least for a while, up until a few years ago. Um, and the Subway, I've heard that they're in trouble for years. I actually
Yeah.
prefer like Jersey Mike's. Why are we talking about food? This is supposed to be music talk. But
I
see, this is
don't
the
know.
great thing about going off on
You,
tangents.
you started it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
I
have
did.
anything but Subway as far as a sub place. No chains or anything. Just Subway. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, Jersey Mike's. There's a place out here called Firehouse, I think, something like that. Firehouse
we've
sandwiches.
we've got one of those in a truck. So, go have lunch at Firehouse and good luck to you because you have no idea where they're gonna be. It's
Yeah, exactly,
ridiculous.
exactly. Yeah, uh, but anyway, so
So,
we're gonna get back to music. I'm gonna make that video
yes.
about AOR. I actually
Yeah.
put together that video. Or I'm sorry, no, I didn't put together the video. I put together the medley, and I've listened to it quite a few times because it's the songs are super catchy. Because everybody, people are going to say that they don't care for Foreigner or they don't care for REO Speedwagon or Journey, but
Mhm.
everybody, loves a song or at least a few songs by each of those bands. But these aren't. None of these are like famous bands. The only popular song that I put on is this is a band that I first heard about 2009, 2010, a band called Wigwam. And they were very much, they might be Swedish or Finnish or something, but they're very much like the European version of Steel Panther, where they did that kind of metal, that like 80s poodle rock type stuff,
Mhm.
and they dressed like that, like they were from like the 80s, but they're not as jokey in terms of, they don't sing about, um, uh, one in the pink, two in the stink thing, or the shocker. They don't sing about things like that or sex things, but they don't take themselves too seriously. And their song actually got played as the opening theme to Peacemaker. The song was called "Do You Want to Taste It?" And just saying that song title makes me laugh. Um, but Peacemaker was a series on HBO. Did you ever see that series,
Nope.
Tim? No, okay. I've never seen it, but I've seen a lot of stuff about it because I don't have HBO. I've already got way, I think 3 or 4. China Crisis. I love China Crisis, Danny. I don't know where that came from, but I'm glad you mentioned China Crisis. Um, but that's the only song that's anyone's going to know unless they're hardcore Frontiers Records fans. But the other band, like I said, I've been listening to a lot lately has been the Orange Pills. Alan Clapp and his orchestra is a side project because Alan Clapp is the leader of the band. Absolutely incredible stuff. The Corner Laughers. I'm going to be making a video on that. I'm going to be making a video on Rick Springfield, and I'm going to be talking about all 19 or 20 of his albums, uh, going all the way back to Zoot in Australia. He was a member of that band in the late 60s, early 70s. So I'll be talking about that. Just this all upcoming. I sit down, sometimes I sit down and make a video. I mean, I don't know if you're like this, Tim, because you make your videos. Well, I know. Well, no, because you make your videos and you've got like, I mean,
Yeah, I've still got like 15 to post. I never remember to do it.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. It's
months
like,
without a video, and I've got videos ready. It's
yeah, you
just
probably still have a video of your unboxing of McCartney 3, right?
I've got videos almost that old.
Yeah. Um, but but yeah, it's I just had to find time because you're good enough to get up there and talk, say, okay, this is that, blah blah blah. But since I have a slight, I guess I want to call it a speech impediment or a stutter. I have to sometimes edit things out because I'll tumble over my words because my brain works a lot faster than my mouth does. And then there's a lot of
No,
and I try to cut that
listen,
stuff out too.
listen to my podcast if you want. I should call it the Show because or the Show.
Yeah, Brinley's right here. Wigwam. Well, no,
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
No, it's Wigwam. Hey Richard, how you doing? I keep asking you this. That is Joe Strummer there, right? Because my eyes aren't so good. Does that look like Joe Strummer to you?
Maybe my
It
eyes
could be a
aren't so
picture.
good either.
Yeah, we're
Two
we're,
blind
we're getting
guys.
old, Richard. We're getting
Yeah.
old. But not as old as Doc.
That is Doc Dacus, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, Doc, I was there listening on the show the whole show today, except the parts that I fell asleep on, which is pretty much the whole thing. No. I was there listening. I almost jumped on just to because I think you guys were expecting like Beetle Brad to hop on, so I wanted to jump on, but then James hopped on, and I go, I'm not getting on now. Well, especially since there was six slots already taken. But I have coming in the mail. Unfortunately, everybody's done unboxing videos. I don't know if I'm going to do an unboxing video now of Elvis on Tour. And looking forward to that. I'm actually okay. Yeah, I keep asking you that, and I keep seeing that. And I guess I'm getting old, Richard, because I keep asking you the same damn question. I mean, I'm sure if we ever met in person, you would come up and you say, "Hey, I'm Richard James." I'm going to say, "Hey, is that Joe Strummer in your whatever you call it? I don't even know what it's called now. Is it emoji? No, it's not emoji. It's Avatar. Avatar.
Yeah.
But then Avatar makes me think of those blue people in the James Cameron movie. But what was I saying? What was I talking about? Probably nothing important.
I don't remember either. Wow.
See,
we're entertaining and right on it. All right.
Yeah. No, but see, this is the great thing. Usually I'll have a subject, but today I just wanted to talk to Tim. That's all it was. Is I just wanted me and Tim to get up here. We haven't talked in a long time. I could have just done one of those like a Facebook chat room type thing and just called you that way. But I thought, no, let's embarrass ourselves in front of 29 people.
Awesome.
Okay, yeah. Robert S says,
yes,
unboxing O's. Robert S and Doc and stuff. We're going to have you guys on a show. Like I said, this was thrown together last second. Well, not last second. We just didn't know exactly when it was going to happen. I've postponed it a million times because a girl was coming over, a real life one. And then I had a party to go to. And in fact, I had to move this up a little bit because tonight I'll be playing virtual miniature golf with my daughter, my son-in-law, and my brother, and probably my brother's girlfriend. So that's really fun because my daughter is in Oregon. My daughter and son-in-law are in Oregon, so they actually are playing in their house or apartment or whatever, and I'm playing down here in an undisclosed location in Orange County. And then also my my brother and his girlfriend. So we're everybody's in different rooms in different parts of and sometimes we'll have a couple games ago, maybe about a month ago, we had some guy who was in Boston playing with us, a friend of my brother's and stuff. So it's really fun to do it. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here. Really appreciate it. This isn't any drama. And this, we're getting back to the music now because Robert S has told me what we were talking about. And it was unboxing Elvis. So everybody's been doing the unboxing of the Elvis on Tour. And so it's kind of like, well, does anybody need me to do that? That's always my thing. I don't think anybody needs me to talk about the Beatles, but I will tell you, if anybody out there who has watched my, I don't have to turn off the mic.
I thought I'd be polite.
I could care less. If anybody has watched my channel for any particular length of time, does anybody remember the show? Well, hopefully I'll be doing Ronnie Barnett's Boom Boom Room. You know, I got to talk to Ronnie again. I mean, we still talk. We're still friends, but my life has been kind of crazy in the last 6 months. Does anybody remember a show called That's What Schnee Said, where me and my brother just talk about growing up and all the pop culture things that we experienced? We're going to do a whole series on the Beatles. And it's going to be the first time I'm going to focus on the Beatles, but we're not going to be talking about the Beatles like Paul McCartney was born in Liverpool, England, oh, gasp.
More.
No, it's us being our goofy selves talking about our memories, because our memories of the Beatles are going to be completely different from everybody else's, because we experienced it ourselves. And I like angles like that. You know what I mean? I like people to discuss from their personal point of view, as opposed to I love things like when Robert Logan comes on Ski Lodge, he says, this is number one in 1987 or whatever. But I also love it when 1967, because I don't think his book goes up to 87. But I also love it when somebody like Balding Boomer or somebody comes in, or Robert S. or Doc says, oh, I remember I heard this when I was in high school. And then that's just as important as those chart entries. Oh yeah, I remember I was surfing in Malibu, or whatever. Total. We have to do this more often, because now I think it's me just overloading Tim.
No, it's fine. Like I said, I haven't had a lot going on, so it's. I mean, I do have one subject I'd like to broach eventually, not now, before we leave, but that's it. Other than that, go.
Oh, well, the show's over already. So,
oh damn.
Did we start this at 5:30? Is that what time we started? We've been talking for a half hour already. Or no, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Amazing?
I'm sorry. I've been talking for a half hour already.
Yeah. I've been nodding
your head.
No, just kidding.
But favorite Paul. See, I was never a big fan of Paul Revere and the Raiders growing up. So to me, it's just like that 2 CD collection. That's what I like. Maybe Spirit of 76 or 67.
I'm not enough of a fan to know the albums that well, but I will tell you that maybe 6 months ago, I picked up at a thrift store their first album on Jordan. And I kind of like that. It's very different. It's very, very different from what they became. I mean, they were a solid garage band, but I like that. That's the one I've listened to the most lately. Is the first one. In the Beginning, I think it's called, or something.
See, I've noticed that out of all the bands that came out that time, who were popular, like Paul Revere was popular, or Paul Revere and the Raiders, I always felt that they were the closest to having that garage sound. I mean, you could tell that their sound came from garage bands, as opposed to just a bunch of guys getting together because they were influenced by the Beatles or whatever.
Were the main rivals of like the Sonics and
exactly,
and the Kingsmen. I mean, that's exactly where they came from. And did you know they were the first rock and roll band signed to Columbia Records? Columbia Records was very, very late.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very, very late.
Yeah. Well, yes. I'll tell you this. Tim is a great guest. He's also a great friend. So he's a great guy overall, right, Tim? We're talking about you.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. It says here, in the beginnings of repackaging the second album.
All right. See, I don't know. Tom would know. But I just know it's on Jordan, and I like it.
Yeah. Oh, Rory, it's perfectly fine. I mean, as long as you don't call me bad names behind my back or say bad things about me, You can call me Steven. You can call me Steve. You can spell it with a V, a PH. Actually, did I ever tell you? Not that anybody cares, but for the first 26 years of my life, 26, I guess 27, I spelled it Stephan because that's the way that my parents told me it was spelled. So when I was getting married to my first wife, we searched for the birth certificate.
Hmm.
I don't know if you need birth certificates anymore, but this is 1988. It was, I think. No, so I guess the first 25 years of my life, I spent it spelled like Phan. So they found the birth certificate. The birth certificate says Stephen. So legally, I had been misspelling my name for the first 25 years of my life. And my parents just go, "Oh, well, we told them to put AN, but I guess they didn't hear us." So all that time, they didn't even know that my birth certificate said EN and not AN.
We named you Steven, but I guess they wrote down Martha. Oh well.
Yeah, it's like, Mom, Dad, you should have looked harder. Um, but Mitch Miller, he was the person I was going to mention, Wes, because I know that he was a stickler about rock. He did not like
Yeah,
rock
I
and
mean,
roll.
they're not the first people to play rock on the label, but they were the first rock band that got, like, Carl Perkins got signed around 1960 to,
Uh-huh.
and he was rock and rockabilly and country, and Dylan
Right.
was doing rock before the Raiders had an album out. So it wasn't like they were completely, and Simon and Garfunkel were there too, although they were pretty folky still at that point. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but the first conscious rock and roll signing that Columbia did, as far as the band goes, was the Raiders.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord. Now look what you started. In that case, hello, Martha and Tim. Steven is my favorite Martha. Uh, so did you? Is this just a random thing, or did Barrett Strong like pass away today? Um,
I don't know. I heard someone else passed away today, and I've already forgotten who. Tom Verlaine, I heard.
that was yesterday.
Oh,
That's
that
old
was
news, Tim.
yesterday?
Gosh
Okay, but
darn
I
it.
just heard about it today.
Yeah. Yeah. Mitch Miller. But I love those Mitch Miller. The sing along with Mitch and his gang Christmas albums. We grew up on those things. My parents. Uh, my parents had Mitch Miller and Elvis records. Hey, Trish, how are you?
Trish.
And then Jeff, for anybody else I didn't say hello to, hello. I mean, we're only going to be on for like another maybe 20 minutes or so. I can't believe it's already been close to 40. I know that we've probably lulled, or I've probably lulled some people to sleep. I mean, people may say, "Oh, Schneed dominated this conversation again." Yeah, well, you know what? Fuck you. This is my channel. If we're on Tim's channel, I would dominate that too. Then he could say, "Fuck you."
No, I'd be grateful. Just
Now, of
like I
course,
am right now.
but if like Robert S, Robert P, Doc, or whatever, I wouldn't be trying to fill in all the blanks here, because I know that I didn't give you any direction. I just said we're going to talk music. So here we
Yeah,
are.
and
We're talking music.
I tried a couple times to get a topic, and nope. So okay, here we go.
Yeah, yeah. So he did try to get topics out of me, but like I said, I've been so busy. The important thing is talking to my friend Tim. That's it. And also hanging out with you folks here in the chat room. This is completely different than Ski Lodge, obviously. It's interesting. When I do Ski Lodge, I make sure that I don't talk a lot on Ski Lodge.
Mhm.
I mean, I in regards to the show itself, Mixcloud.
Yeah, yeah.
When I put the shows together, it's blah blah. I don't give information on the bands and stuff like that because I try
Mhm,
to fit as much music as I can into that 90-minute window.
mhm.
I mean, I don't have a strict 90-minute window. It sometimes comes to 120 or 80 minutes. Sometimes it'll go to 91 minutes. But I try to talk the least amount that I can, and I save all my talking for my videos. You know, um, let me see here. Yep, I told you. Told you I was going to talk
Yep.
and I was going to lull somebody to sleep. Doc, hey, um, uh, uh, Kimba, can you reach over and shake him and wake him up? Uh, yes, yes. I have to admit, I like the what was the self-titled and Marky Moon, um, the Capitol one that their third album that came on Capitol like years later. I thought that was pretty good too. I noticed when I went back and listened to television again, I actually had discovered that uh, 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 Lloyd Cole had borrowed a lot of his vocal inflections from television. If you go back and listen to like the first two television albums, you're going to hear a lot of um, what Lloyd Cole picked up on. You know, like phrasing or the sort of the things like that. So let me see here. Hello, Dan. Hello, Elvin. Thank you for being here. This is just a talk. We're just
So,
talking. I was going to say
yep.
talking music. It's just friends talking. This is like every episode of this. We call it the Beans Report because it's a tribute to our friend Kevin Beans Reed, who left us in 2022, and
That's me.
Robert S. made those for us,
Yes,
and
and pass this out. And
yes, and
eternal gratitude, Robert.
it was so fantastic because Bean's sister reached out to me, and she loved the pins or buttons, whatever you want to call them. She loved them, and she asked if he could make her some, for the family, for his kids, for his ex-wives, for her, for all the members of the family, and he actually did it at his own cost and sent them to her, which I thought was a wonderful move. But I also want to tell Robert, don't make any more because I want to be able to sell mine on eBay in a couple months and make a lot of money. No, it's because I know that Robert, kind of his heart, he created it to the people that were the closest to Beans, and then a lot more people who loved Beans wanted it, but it's going to end up costing Robert money and time.
Yeah.
So so you have to come sleep. Okay, Officer Dibble, I need you to tap Mr. Dawkins on the head with your bully stick.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds kind of weird.
Don't hit him too hard though, girl. Just sleep some more.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be talking about police bully sticks with all this, news going on. Which, so I'm not being insensitive. I apologize.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick Fantasy.
Hello, Nick.
It's so funny. I think I was the first person. I'm not taking big credit for this, and Nick will tell me. Everyone called him Pantasi, right? Then I finally, when he had called me one day via, I think, private message, whatever, and we had a nice chat, and I said, "How do you pronounce your last name?" And I said, and then he goes, "Fantasy." I said, "Oh, like Fantasy Island." And then he said, "Yeah." And then he said, I said, "Well, why don't you correct anybody?" He said, "Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay." So I started correcting everybody and saying, "No, it's pronounced Fantasy." And so now everybody calls him by his last name. I would take full credit for that. I'll also take full credit for Rob Scure. But okay, Martha, this is going to be a joke that'll probably be long lasting, at least a couple weeks.
Man, if it is, I already apologize.
No, actually, it's funny, but Fantasy Island. Yeah. See, there you go. Nick says I was the person. Let me see here. Thank you, everybody. I know that this is not the most exciting thing, but we're having a good time. I hope that some of you are learning to maybe avoid one of our channels a little bit more than the other. No. This is just talking, just talk. No drama. No or very little Beatles. I always like to throw the Beatles in just in case somebody's lurking and wants to subscribe to my channel. But now, how do people like? Everyone's talking about shorts. Now, I've been making shorts. Right, the first one, I saw the magic. I did Elvis Aloha from Hawaii.
Mhm.
Bingo! Super happy because it got 1,800 views in like 2 hours, and then died after that. Died on the vine. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then I've made 4 or 5 since. A couple of them Elvis, and a couple of them about new wave and just whatever. But um, they have just crashed and burned. Nothing remotely close to. I mean, some of them are 70 views, some of them are 300 views, or whatever, and none of them except that first one got me any extra subs. So I've been failing at it. Have you made any shorts, Tim?
No, I have no idea how to make it short, and I don't. I mean, this is gonna sound bad, but I mean, I don't actually care enough about my channel to want to promote it, and
Right,
I'm
right,
not.
right,
What that means is I don't care about subs and all that stuff as much as
right.
most people do. You want to watch my videos, watch them. If you don't, fine. They're there when I put them up. They're there, and I just it doesn't interest me to make shorts.
Yeah. Does anybody else out there make shorts? And if you do, in the comments, let just say yes, and it's done great for my channel, or yes, no change in my channel. I'm not saying that I'm going to stop making them because I never really learned my lesson. I think I will learn my lesson if, like, I've made 72 shorts and people start unsubbing from my channel. I might learn my
Oh,
lesson there, but um, you know,
they'll never hurt your channel, I don't think.
yeah,
It's like anything else. You don't know why people watch. One of your videos will take off. You don't know why, and you
yeah,
never will. And it's
hmm
just
hmm
the way it works,
hmm
you know.
hmm
And so that's why I don't work. I come up with these ideas, and I don't make 2/3 of the videos I come up with ideas for. Because I think, oh, this is great, and then I think, nah, nobody will watch it, and then I got other things to do anyway.
yes, yeah. Elvin, I did order it. It hasn't shown up yet, so I probably will make a video. But like I said, you know, I guess maybe my perspective might be a little different than Joe's or Ed's or something. Uh, I'm kind of dumb enough to not really. It makes me sad, Rory. It does. But I'm kind of dumb enough to not really think that I'm aging too much and that everybody else is, even though I am. I mean, I'm having all these health issues. I could feasibly die right now on screen, and so you'd have to sort of let yourself out of the room if that happens, Tim. Um, but I'm closer to death than I am to birth, and but still, I'm having as much fun communicating with people like Tim, communicating with you, still sharing that music, same way I was doing it when I was 18, except we didn't have computers and cell phones and stuff. I had to actually go over to people's house with baggies full of 7-inch singles and go, "This is the new one from Yachts. This is the new one from 999." And that's how I did it. Now I can just send them a file.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry about that. Hey, your name? I'm sorry if I missed you already. Good to see you. Thank you. Let me see. uh, uh, Robert has made shorts.
I think he just did. So, I mean, I don't think he knows the impact yet.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
everybody. I'm sorry, Tim. I just want to say, everybody's here, um, if you aren't subscribed to Randy, please subscribe to his channel. Go ahead, Tim. I'm
oh,
sorry.
yeah, yeah, please do. No, that's it. I did have a topic. So before
Yes.
this is over, I want to just broach you on um and I mentioned this briefly, that I think people, especially older people, tend to forget that once an artist is off the charts, that they're not done. That they
Yeah,
still
yeah,
make albums, they don't sell, and and I know you're a big proponent of people's later work and all of that, and so some of my things I've been listening to lately are later day albums by bands and artists that people don't even know exist. But that leads me into, what do you think about these people lately? And this isn't new. This started at least 10 years ago. About people re-recording some of their own songs
yeah,
and
yeah,
putting out an album like
yeah,
Squeeze's Spot the Difference. That's the
yeah.
first one I sort of knew about. Because I've heard U2's doing it now, and Blondie did it. In fact, this is good. Some of these I think are better than the originals. This is good. And I just wonder what you think about that sort of stuff.
Well, the main reason, okay, before I answer that, Elvin, it says, okay, I'm subscribed. The bell has a line going through it for me knowing when videos are posted to your channel. If you are not able to hit that bell, unsubscribe to my channel, resubscribe to my channel. Don't forget that part. And then hit that bell. You should be able to hit that bell then. So anyway, some of those bands, like ELO did it, Jeff Lynne,
Hmm.
they re-recorded their hits about 4 or 5 years ago.
I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, yeah. It's Mr. Blue Sky, the very best of ELO that came out. That is re-recordings of their hits. The reason that they do it is for licensing.
Well, yeah, I know why. I know
Yeah,
why they do it. Yeah, for
yeah,
licensing, and it renews their copyright too. If it's
yeah.
a certain age, it renews their copyright, and maybe somebody in a commercial will use the new version instead of the old version, and they can make
That's
some
the
money.
whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know ELO did it, but like I said, this, especially Maria, the
Uh-huh.
version of Maria on this re-recorded Blondie, I like better than the album version. I know it's the newest song on there, but I think it rocks a little more and it's more
Uh-huh.
concise, and but nothing on there is bad. And so, people been go, oh, U2's doing it, and I'm curious, if they're not changing things too much, it might be
Well,
okay.
no, you too. From what I understand, they're reimagining their songs.
Okay,
They're not. They're
that's
not. They're not doing it the same arrangements. It's
okay.
if you go online, what's the song "In the Name of Love"?
Pride.
Yeah, "Pride in the Name of Love." It's a completely different version. There are bands like a David Cassidy, or
Mhm.
people in the 70s and 80s did it because they needed the money. And a label said,
Yeah.
"Here, we're going to give you $5,000 if you re-record your hits, then we release it."
Mhm.
Then those are the compilations that Doc goes out and buys.
Yeah, and gets very mad at everyone, yeah.
Yeah. Um, that that happens. When a band goes in and just re-records a bunch of their hits,
Mhm.
I'm not really like 9 times out of 10. Like I don't own the Squeeze. The Squeeze is one of my favorite bands. I don't own
Mhm.
the Squeeze one. I own the ELO one. I don't own that Blondie one. I'm not against it. I'm against when all of us. Well, not against, but I'm not a big fan when, let's say, Blondie. Um, Now this didn't happen with Blondie, but yeah, I have a lot of people who buy Costello and Amy Mann still. Now they didn't. Blondie didn't do this, but uh, yeah, there you go. Thanks, Starman. Um, when a band like Blondie comes out and they do an American Standards album, it's like, what the hell? Where did that come from? You knew that was uh, if they wanted to get out of the record contract, they had to record that album. Now that doesn't exist. Blondie doing,
Yeah.
the Great American Songbook does not exist yet. But that's when things are really kind of surprised me. There's just something like really recently that I was thinking of that falls into that category that surprised the heck out of me. It was like a rock band. All of a sudden, they're doing like all country songs or something. But they were doing old country songs, stuff from the 60s and 70s or whatever. Oh, okay. Thanks, Alvin. Yeah, please. Thank you for reminding to resubscribe. Um, I'm glad that worked. Uh, let me see here. Uh, I'm just saying hi to Eric Hartman, an old friend of mine from many, many moons ago. I think that logo there is the alarm.
Yeah, it looks like the one. Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
Doc Dawkins is back. Let me. I just want to get caught up here. Oh yeah, totally, totally. I mean, I don't mind when a band, when an artist goes like for example, Elvis Aloha from Hawaii,
Mhm.
the FTD one. They remixed it. They remixed it to make it sound better. Or the
Yeah,
Beatles,
yeah.
Revolver. So I don't mind when they do that, but um, when they go back and they re-record or they remix it for a different style, like
Mhm.
if they take like the core elements of a song and add it to like add a techno beat to it, that's um, when I kind of but
That's what I'm
me,
worried about with U2 because I don't really like much of what U2's done in the past few years, and if they're updating their sound to now, that's not gonna be a good thing.
yeah, no, it's not that they're reimagining them different arrangements.
Okay.
They're not updating them and saying like, well, gee, this particular sound's really popular. Let's do it like that.
Okay.
No, if you hear that Pride in the Name of Love, I is
Mhm.
that the one that's on the internet, folks? If you could just let me know.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's Pride in
haven't
the
heard
Name of
about
Love.
it. But,
Yeah, but it's
I was just thinking Costello did that too in a way. I think that's what his second
oh,
album sung in Spanish is about the same thing. He's not doing the
I totally want
vocals,
to get that.
but
I've
it's
never
the
heard it.
same thing.
I want to hear that. I want to get that because it's the same backing tracks, just with
Yeah,
like
no,
yeah.
I downloaded it. I
Oh,
didn't
did you?
buy it,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I downloaded it.
Thanks, Eric.
It's good. It's interesting.
Yeah. For a show that we started with absolutely no subject, we've got some very fine people listening in, and we've only got a couple minutes left. And again, the reason I have a couple minutes left is because I have in a half hour I have a virtual miniature golf game to play with my daughter and son-in-law and my brother and his girlfriend. Um,
Busy, busy man.
but we should actually schedule this. What was that, Tim?
I just said you're a busy, busy man.
It it never seems, but the thing that I love to do most is talk about music, and I don't always get to do it. So when people complain that I go on their streams and they can't get a word in edgewise, it's because I'm very happy and honored and proud to be up there talking. And hey, I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm going to get up there and but you know what? Maybe that's why I don't go on streams anymore, because people complain too much. Like Doc, oh my God, did you hear Doc complaining about me today on the show? No, Doc didn't. I'm just
No,
kidding.
no, I didn't.
Um, yeah, you guys are talking about McFarlane, and I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about because I've been having too much fun with my buddy Tim Allen up on screen. Yes, right, Nick. The reimagining part sometimes I find very interesting because I want to see how they feel about their songs today. But I think what we're actually referring to is when a band goes in and just re-records the album.
Does a straight thing and like you buy it used. There was probably a promo sticker on this. It told you exactly what it was, but you buy it used for
Yeah,
99 cents at the thrift store, like I do. Yeah, like I didn't know. I had a suspicion because I'd never seen this that this might be re-recordings, but
yeah,
I've got everything by Blondie, so I was actually hoping it was.
yeah,
And it's good. It's good. You most of the songs, if you were only casually paying attention, you wouldn't notice it. The only one that is Rapture that's really different. Um,
oh, okay.
um,
Nick Fantasy wants me to reimagine this conversation. I don't
yeah,
know if that's funny or if that's a Sort of a
Yeah.
rude comment,
But,
Nick.
when I think of reimagined, I think of McCartney 3 reimagined and no thank you.
Oh my God. Okay, before we go, let me just put this out there, and I don't want people to hate on me. McCartney 3,
Yeah, I know, I know. I liked it.
what
Um,
Trish wants us to talk about political nonsense. I'd rather hear people talk about political nonsense. Thanks, Trish. But at least you toughed it out. Well, we were talking. Oh, Randy, gosh darn it! I know Dub's here going. All you do to me is talk. Uh, we see that's the thing also about re-recordings. Before we go, like the last thing, because I like the topic, um, is there's a chemistry that creates the original recording,
Yeah,
and when they re-record it, 9 times out of 10, it's a different band lineup
yeah.
with a different chemistry. So it's not going to feel the same. It may
No.
have every note in place. Somebody may be playing every bit or every one of Nigel Harrison's bass notes
That
to a T, but it doesn't have his feel.
that's what's lacking in the squeeze, I think. It
Totally.
sounds the same, but there's no spark there. There's some
Mhm.
spark in the Blondie one. Blondie one's the best one of
Oh,
these
sorry.
I've heard.
Yeah. Well, see, I have to hear it because I forgot that existed.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, I did. Hey, breakfast. Do you prefer to be called breakfast, comma King, comma, or Loyola, or do you prefer to be called Breakfast King of Loyola? I'm usually going to trip over that. I tried hard to say
BKL.
it all at once. Yeah, BKL. No, that sounds too much like a serial killer. McCarthy, definitely over McCartney 3. There's a couple great McCartney songs. Breakfast. Um, see, Randy calls him breakfast.
It's probably dead on there.
Yeah. So, Tim,
Yes.
it is time. How was that an hour?
I don't know. Very, very quickly, it was an hour. Probably felt
That
like
is,
2 hours to them, but to us,
yeah, yeah.
it went very quick.
I know. It's like, but Tim, I have to admit, I'm a peppy. Hey, what's up? Let's talk about music. And you're like, okay, Steve.
Yeah. No, no, I
No, I
didn't
know.
fall asleep once. Proud of myself.
Yeah, yeah. You can't say that about Doc. Doc probably fell asleep about 3 or 4 times. What about Paul recording the Beatles songs? Did he? Oh, well, I know that like on
Yeah, Broad Street.
Broad Street.
Yeah.
Okay. My opinion of Broad Street, the movie.
It would, yeah. And the album, if they had one more song, it would have been a decent EP. But they were lacking a song. They only had 3 songs.
I'll tell you, I don't want Paul McCartney to die. But okay, well, thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. Um, uh, I don't want Paul McCartney to die. I don't think any of us does. But when he dies, I think that St. Peter up in heaven is going to sit him down and he's going to make him watch the silly love song scene in Give My Regards to Broad Street and saying, okay, do you think you deserve up here or down there? That is the most awful thing ever.
If Paul goes to hell, that'll be his torture. He'll have to sit in front of his TV screen 24/7 and just watch that silly love songs video over and over again.
Yeah, no, I don't think Paul McCartney's going to hell. He's brought too much
No, I don't think
joy
so
to our
either. But
words. Yeah, he's brought too
oh,
much joy to our words. Yeah, McCartney 3, Fan 0. That's awesome. So anyway, I am going to have to say goodbye. I really, really appreciate you taking the time, Tim. I know that you're a
thanks for
very busy
having me.
man.
Yeah.
Well, what does anybody out there want us to do this more than once every 6 months? Now I do have plans to do a show on Sunday nights where I'm going to get artists to come in and play acoustic, but it's only going to be like a 15-minute show. And I'm going to talk to the artists, promote their album, promote whatever, and then they'll do 2 originals and a cover. And that'll be the show. 15, 20 minutes, half hour tops if I bring in a prog band. Not that I'm going to bring in a prog band, but no, I guess it would be an hour. Like if I brought
You
in
gotta
Yes,
focus.
yeah. Okay. I am going to leave as soon as, or we're going to leave. We're going to say our goodbyes as soon as I'm doing this. No More Lonely Nights is a good song. Yes, Eric Stewart from 10cc was also in that as well.
Yes.
Oh, good Lord.
Thanks for all the yeses, guys.
I don't know what you're laughing at. Could be, hopefully something that wasn't serious. Let me see here. Thank you, Nick. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you, everybody. Okay, well, okay, we got two. Well, Robert. Next time we set it up, you're going to be involved. Like I said, this was just something that Tim and I are going to do. We were going to bring in.
The time of this got changed, just so everyone knows, while I was on Doc's stream. That's how last minute this was.
Yeah. I felt bad for Tim because we had set it up a certain time. I said, let's do it on. Was it originally Friday that I said?
I think you did. It went back and forth.
Yeah. So Tim is off of Facebook for 12 hours, whatever. He comes back, and I think it was a mind fuck because he's got all these things where I'm changing the times, and then I start changing the day. And then by the end, I just thought, you know what? He hasn't looked at Facebook, and he's going to be confused as hell. Because sometimes when you open up Messenger, the last message that's there is the first one you see. So then he has to scroll up. So he's going to be reading it all backwards.
No, I just went right to Facebook, so I read them all forward.
Oh, okay. But yes, we will be asking some of you up. In fact, we're not going to do a stream until Kimba comes up. We're not going to do another one until Kimba comes up.
Oh, well, nice seeing you then, Steve.
But yes, I enjoy talking to Tim. Tim is my buddy. I appreciate everybody for this is the thing is we're friends talking. So, and the main subject is music. I'm sorry for steering it into fast food, but I don't know why I did that. But I appreciate everybody here, and this is the conversation that you would be getting if we were all in the same room. And just chatting together. So it's always great to talk to you, Tim. It's always great to see so many of you people, so many of you people here in the chat room who, Ethan, this is a total. This show is friends talking about music, and that's what Beans was. He was a friend who loved talking about music. So, and show it again.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. I want to thank Wes because he said he's going to go listen to an older podcast, and sometime tonight I'm putting up a new one for anybody that's interested.
Are you going to finally put up a Christmas one?
I put up 2 Christmas.
I know.
Actually, 3. Actually, 4 maybe. I put up.
I know, but
few.
I know, but you're always so. You're always so busy, and then now when I say behind, you're behind in your video stuff. It doesn't mean that you're behind in terms of you're not you're not making videos. It's because you have so many logged up. And you said on your radio shows,
I get an idea that I want to do now, so then the old ones just sit there.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but everybody, thank you all for taking the time. Really appreciate it. Hopefully, if you, I would love to see you all back Tuesday night for This is Ski Lodge. Got another great episode. But the most important thing is Tim is here. My friends are here in the chat room. And I appreciate you all being here. Even Randy, I call Randy a friend. Isn't that weird? Randy, the guy who verbally beats me up every chance he gets. No, not really. No, Randy's a great guy. I love Randy. I mean, not that way. But anyway, thank you everybody. Again, I really do appreciate it. When I get up here and I say that, I won't say thank you unless I mean it. So thank you. Well, no, I won't say thank you to you, Tim. But thank you everybody. Thank
Yes,
you
thanks
everybody.
everybody for being here. I really appreciate it.
This is complete nonsense. I'm going to keep it up. All the Beans reports are going to stay. Because this is what it's about. It's just about friends talking about music. And I love the fact that our friends came and visited us here. Your support is so important to each and every one of us. So as long as we support each other, we're all going to keep going. And look, we're just going to keep. We got to prop each other up as hokey as it sounds, because
Yeah.
none of us are going to get out of here alive. So let's make the best of it.
Yep.
And and that means, no drama, no crapping on people, and just try to love each other. I mean, I know it's kind of hard to love Tim, especially when he wears that damn
Really
Beatles t-shirts.
See when he goes around calling his friends Martha, but
So, okay. I know I drag goodbyes off, but I just really appreciate you all. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. So I know most of you tuned out anyway. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tim. Again, we will be back. I'll start making sure that we do this, and we'll get more people on to do it as well. This time, like I said, was just a sperm of the moment. So, okay, everybody, thank you and good night.
good night, everyone.
Yeah, we appreciate you all. Good night. From the Beans Report.